Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is going to be the first episode of our Ride the 6 rebuild FZ6R, but version 2, because I've already done this once. The problem is this time I've really messed the fork up here. You can see quite a bend in this fork, and right now the handlebars are actually straight, and you can see the wheels pretty much pointed to the right. So we have to tear off the whole front end, and there might be something very special coming in this rebuild, guys. I'm going to see if I can get it done. I'm going to try to maybe put an R6 front end on this bike, or maybe a front end from like I don't know, an MT-07, MT-09. I'm going to see if I can't get something, just upgrade the front end a little bit, because I'm not a big fan of the forks that really don't have any suspension. But anyways, guys, stay tuned. We're going to start stripping down the front end of the bike on the rebuild series, and we'll go from there. Alright, so first things first, we're going to take off the brake calipers on both sides. I am a little bit worried that there might be some pressure here because the forks are bent. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to start loosening everything off. Might have to drive the axle out, guys, from the other side, especially in this case where it's bent. So I finally got the axle out. It was really hard to get out because everything is kind of bent and twisted. The forks aren't aligned properly. But the axle, I finally did get it out. I had to pound it out from the other side. I couldn't pull it out, and I couldn't turn it out, so I had to really like, I'm sweating here just trying to get that little piece out. Okay, there we go. Front wheels out. Wheel spacer, we'll just put that in a safe spot. So I'm hoping the rotor didn't get damaged or bent or warped or anything when the forks are twisted, but we'll figure that out later on. And this side of the wheel looks pretty good. Spacer already fell out somewhere, I think, so. Okay, wheels off. And now you can get an idea of the forks. You can see how twisted or... So right now the bar is straight, and you can see the forks. They're not very aligned, definitely. So the forks are the next thing coming off the bike. So now we're going to get the, we need to take the forks off, but in order to do that we need to remove the handlebars too, because the forks are sitting under the handlebars. And we're going to take these little caps off the bars, and then we're going to loosen the bars off here. Hopefully I can, these are on pretty tight, but should be able to loosen it. There we go, there's the first one. Go. Actually, that bolt was already loose, guys. I loosened the top one off. I didn't loosen the bottom one off, so that was loose. Actually, this one's loose too. Two of these bolts are actually loose. That's okay, we're going to double check everything when we do the reassembly. Now, before we take these bars off, guys, you want to mark, you want to make a little mark so you know roughly where they were previously. It'll just help you get them back in the same spot when you put the bike back together. And there we go. Since we're going to be taking the whole front end off, including the triple trees and everything, we want to remove this little bracket that supports all your cabling and wire routing for the bike. We're going to need this off so that we can move everything out of the way. This is a 10mm socket. There's one bolt under the top triple tree on each side. I have already loosened them off, so it's just a matter of taking them out here now. Okay. So there we go. Just this little cable harness here. Like I say, it guides all your wires and everything. And we're going to need that off anyways on the front of the bike. So now you can just flop your bars over. It's probably a good idea to hang them somewhere. I don't know necessarily where I'm going to hang them just yet. Alright, so I just grabbed a short little bungee cord I had, guys, and I basically just went around my bars and then just brought it back up to the hanger point on my lift here. So essentially all the bars are free, and now we have to start loosening off the forks. Fork it's having a lot of issues coming out of the tree. So what I'm doing, I'm taking a big flathead screwdriver and I'm actually trying to release the clamp or open up the clamp a little bit through the triple tree, and that has worked. So there's our bed fork, guys. You can see it's pretty bent. The whole tube here is kinked and bent. This fork is done. This is completely useless. So that's going to go get put aside. So flathead screwdriver. Okay, just create a little bit more gap. Okay, and so that fork came right out, guys. And I think this fork is bent as well. Yeah, I could definitely feel there is a bend in this fork as well. So not only is one fork bad, but both forks on this bike, both the fork tubes have been bent and damaged. So it needs a whole new front end fork setup. So at this point we might as well try to look at an R6 conversion. The price of an R6 fork is pretty much the same the price of an FZ6R fork when I checked online. So let's get this out. Alright guys, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the steering stem as well. And we're going to see, we'll pull the steering stem and then we'll see if we have anything that fits, or we can start measuring up for the R6 stuff, and we'll go from there. Guys, we're going to try to undo the top steering stem nut. It's a 27mm, and again I've taken black tape and I've wrapped it around it just in case I don't want to scratch it up or You want to protect it a little bit. Okay, if we do it like that, it might work. Okay, so 27mm, guys. I'm using the, I guess, the tabs that prevent the bike from basically excessive steering to the right or left. Okay, so our nut is off. Okay. Oh, we're gonna have an issue here with the. We're gonna have an issue here with the starter, guys. Before I lift the top triple tree off, it's probably best I get under the airbox and we unplug basically the ignition wire. Okay, there we go. Airbox is off. We're going to want to put a towel or a cloth in here. We don't want anything to get inside the engine. So that's good. So we're just going to cut my tie wrap. Okay. And we got some ignition wires here coming off. Okay, so it's this little blue wire here, the 2-pin blue wires. And it's the brown and red wires as well. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's feed the ignition wires out through the frame. Okay, there we go. Actually, let's get it untangled from all this stuff. And I see we have a tie wrap there. This should loosen off as well. Yes, it does. At least Yamaha was smart this way, and they made reusable tie wraps. So let's feed the ignition wires out through our tie wrap. Okay, beautiful. So now the ignition's free to come loose. We're going to remove the top triple clamp. There's a washer on the top here. We don't want to lose that. And we need to get this out from inside all our cables. Okay, there we go. Triple clamp is off. So now we're going to lift our little lock mechanism. Alright, I just loosened this off with my fingers, guys. This is our top steering lock, I guess you would call it. Now this bottom one's going to be a little trickier. You can use a spanner wrench or you can use a flat blade screwdriver. I don't have a little spanner wrench that size, so we're going to try the flat blade screwdriver. Just going to gently tap. There you go. You don't have to hit it very hard. So we're going to undo our bottom lock nut. Okay, there we go. Now let's see. So now we're going to drop out our steering stem. Be careful, you don't want to damage your threads. So you're going to want to put everything back on your steering stem, guys, just so you know the order everything came off on, and you don't want to lose it. So I basically put the two lock nuts back, the little locking clamp, the washer, and the top steering head bolt. So you've got your bearings down here at the bottom, and you got like a dust shield and a couple rubber washers and stuff here. So alright, so let's put that aside and let's see what's going on here with the head of the bike. Okay, let's pull this top cap off the steering stem. You're gonna have like, I don't know, like a shim, or this is kind of what the ball bearings ride on. So that's all that's in the top. So we're gonna put that aside. And basically we're gonna clean up any grease in around like the raceways and anything up inside the steering stem or the head unit on the bike here. So there's a look down inside the stem, guys. You can see it pretty much goes straight through the bike, and what adjusts, I guess, the way the stems fit are these little raceways, or the bearing raceways, in the head of the bike. So there are going to be some new parts coming in, and yeah, that's what it looks like down the neck of your bike. Straight through, just like a hollow tube. Nothing special, guys. I have decided to try to put an R6 front end on this bike. So I do have some R6 parts here, and we're going to start on that immediately in the next video. We're going to start trying to fit the R6 parts to the head unit of this bike, and hopefully it works out, guys. I don't know if anybody's done it, but I'm going to try to do it for you. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.